One, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and highest honor to Yahweh Basham, Yahushai Basham, Hagdash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom to the hopeful elect of the Hebrew Israelites. This brother Rock coming back with another lesson, and this is going to be just a couple of examples why you have to, when you study the scriptures, it's so lucky that I was thinking and looking up this at the same time, but hey, while you're looking up the scriptures, okay, when you're studying the Bible, it's crucial that you go to the Hebrew and the Greek for the understanding of the Bible, okay? Hebrew for Old Testament and Greek for New Testament. And we got a couple of examples of that, and there's this so-called Deacon Yawasap, mind you, with a Hebrew name, and the elder apostles, they have said that this dude said that the English is enough for him, okay? I haven't seen the clip myself of him saying it, but I heard it from elders apostles. This dude Deacon Yawasap of IUIC saying the English is good enough for me, so basically he's saying he don't need to go to the Hebrew and the Greek, and then he has a Hebrew name, which is so dumb, okay, which is very foolish, okay, and hilarious at the same time. Like, it's like you forcefully trying to make a fool out of yourself, okay, so you have succeeded, okay. This dude right here, Deacon Yawasap. All these damn gimmicks, man. Alright. Yeah, so that dude. Okay. And this is just a couple of examples, man. So first is Matthew 28:1. It says, in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn, toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And, as you see the title or the subject above, it says Yahushua is risen. And he didn't rise in the end of Sabbath, but actually after the Sabbath. So this allows a translation from the King James Version, okay? And actually it says Sabbaths, okay, the Sabbaton. It's Sabbath in plural because it's not only a lunar Sabbath, but it's also the Feast of Unleavened Bread, okay, first day of Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the Passover, which is Holy Convocation unto us, okay. Let's prove that point first, okay, in Leviticus chapter 23, and I'm gonna just begin from verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover, okay, which that is the 15th day, because the 14th day when the sun goes down, that's the beginning of the 15th day, okay. Verse 6, and on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord Yahweh. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. Verse 7, in the first day ye shall have an holy convocation, ye shall do no servile work therein, which is Sabbath, okay, which is on the first day of unleavened bread, which is also the lunar Sabbath. So you have two Sabbaths, okay. So that's why it says in plural that in the end of the Sabbaths, which shouldn't say in the end, because the word in the Greek, you see, is opse, but it means after a long time, long after, late, okay. So see how Yahushua was crucified on the Passover, and then after 3 days and 3 nights he rose up. So it's not in the end of the Sabbath, because he was crucified on the Passover, which is the Sabbath. So that this scripture wouldn't make any sense. So I asked the elder There's a Bashar out of Gemma, South Holland about it, and he broke it down to me using the Greek, okay, which was just earlier this week, and showing you, if you went by English alone, you would be dead as confused, man. But you have to go to the Greek word opsa, which says after the Sabbath, okay? You see, that's the first example. Then the second one is obvious, okay, which is Easter, which is in Acts 12 and 4. I'm gonna begin from verse 1. Now about time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church, which was the believers, followers of Yahushua. This was not some damn, heathen, Christian, church congregation, man. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, the wicked Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. 10 were the days of unleavened bread, which you already know, days of unleavened bread. So that was during the Passover season, okay, which in the Greek it's Pascha, okay. In the Hebrew it's Pasach. In the English it's Passover. It has nothing to do with no damn Easter. Okay, then verse 4, but here you're gonna see that error. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. So this is off. If you would go by English alone, you would actually have to be celebrating Easter, because it's in the Bible, it's in the King James. Okay, so you cannot go by English alone. Now when you go to the Greek, you're gonna see the word. You're gonna see the word for so-called Easter, which says Pascha, which says the Paschal sacrifice, which was custom to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt. Okay, it's going into Passover. Okay, the Paschal lamb, i.e. the lamb of Israelites, were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month Nisan, at even, which is the 15th day, the first month of their year, in memory of the day on which their fathers, preparing to depart from Egypt, were bidden by the Most High and slay and eat a lamb and to sprinkle their doorposts with its blood, that the destroying angel, Yahushua, seeing the blood, might pass over their dwellings. Yahushua crucified is likened to the slain Paschal lamb. Okay, the Paschal supper, the Paschal feast, the feast of the Passover. Okay, extending from the 14th to the 20th day of the month Nisan, which is actually from the 15th to the 21st, okay, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21st, Khan, because it's the 14th at even, which is the 15th day. You see, and we just read that in the Leviticus chapter 23, verse 6, where it says the 15th day of the month is the feast of unleavened bread. So they are off here. The Blue Letter Bible is not 100%. It's not perfect, but just showing you the Greek word here is Pascha, which is, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's hear it.
Strong's G3957. Pascha. Pascha.
Okay, Pascha, which, that's Passover, bro. That has nothing to do with no damn Easter. Okay, and it's been translated as Passover 28 times and 1 time as Easter, which is a translation error. Even if you go to the NLT, it says, verse 4, then he imprisoned him, placing him under the guards of 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. Herod intended to bring Peter out for public trial after the Passover. So you see, this is just a few examples why the English is not enough. You have to go to the Hebrew and the Greek, to get the understanding. Another one is you go to the, Genesis chapter 1, and I'm ended with the example, it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, but it should say, in the beginning, the powers created the heaven and the earth. Why? Because the word is Alahayam, which is plural, okay? Which this is talking about, you see, Alahayam. The Yam makes it, you see, plural, okay? Plural, okay? Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, which here is speaking about the Yahweh and the angels, okay, who were following the Most High's blueprint, okay? But it says God, but it should say powers or gods, okay? So if you go by English alone, you are going to be very, very confused, okay? Another one, okay, there's another one, so I guess let's read it then. John 3:16, the Christian, I'm convinced this is the most famous scripture among the Christians. For the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. But when you go to the Greek word for the word world, it says cosmos, which in this context it means not just a sect, as it says here, an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government. You see here it means a world which is narrowed down to the Israelites, the Gentile Israelites. You have the world of hip hop, you have the world of football, you have the world of boxing, you have the world of archaeology. There are different worlds, so this is how it's used in this instance, and you wouldn't know it unless you went into the Greek. Okay, a scripture to also back that up is, if you have the spiritual ears to hear, you put precept upon precept, it's talking about the world of Israel. Okay, and here you can see it, Isaiah 45:17, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord. So that John 3:16 is talking about Israel, beginning with the elect. Okay, but Israel shall be saved in the world with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So we are the world of Israel. Okay. So that's what it's talking about in John 3:16. But try breaking that down to a Christian. They will not get it unless the Most High's Spirit is upon them to get it. Okay. So how it should read John 3:16, for the Most High Yahweh so loved the world of Israel that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So here's 4 examples showing that the English is not enough. You have to go to the Hebrew and the Greek. You have to go to the Hebrew and the Greek to get the full understanding of the Bible. Okay, so with that, it's on to the next one. Shalom.